Welcome back to Fix Everything. Summer 26 continues. Gotta have tunes for summer, so today I'm going to show you how to adjust a vinyl turntable. So if you get one used on eBay or somebody donates one to you and you want to set it up properly, here are the steps you're going to take so that you get the best sound, you don't damage your stylus, otherwise known as a cartridge. Some people call it a needle, but those are the old days. And you'll also not ruin your vinyl record by excessive tracking. And I'll explain all of that when we continue. So before we do any adjustments, the very first thing you have to do is make sure your turntable is level. That means front to back and side to side. The best way to do that is with a bubble level. And it's just a round circle with a bubble in it. You put it right about here and it will tell you all you need to know. I don't have one, but you can pick one up at any hardware store for about $5. Great to have if you are a vinyl enthusiast. I don't have one, but I do have a small bubble level like this. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm pretty sure that the plinth that I have this in is very level, but we're going to take a look at it. So I can see just from this that the side, as far as the pitch or the front to back, is level, just about spot on. I am now going to move this to the front, and that is pretty darn close. So the idea of this is to make sure that there's not excessive force where the stylus, which is the tip which rides into the groove of your music, is not pushing left or right in the groove too much. You don't want excess wear of your vinyl record. So it's very important that you are level before you make any adjustments. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the weight of the tone arm. Now this cartridge, the Rega Carbon, has a stylus or needle. We don't call it a needle, we call it a stylus. Somebody yelled at me once about that. But the old days we called everything a needle. So this is known as the cartridge. This picks up the sound from the grooves of the record and turns it into a signal. So this has a weight to it. You don't want this stylus bearing down on the vinyl too much, and you don't want it to be too light either. One way or another, it could damage the vinyl. You want to make sure this is adjusted as close as possible to the specs. So what you need to do is you need to look up the specifications for your particular cartridge. Now that we have our tracking force weight, we want to make sure that the tone arm is free. It is not harnessed or clipped in. And we're going to come to the back, and you'll see usually a little knob known as the anti-skate adjustment. We're going to adjust this to 0. So bring that to 0. Make sure the tone arm is free. Now, based on the specifications, this is the counterweight that's in the back of most tone arms. We're going to adjust this little at a time until this head shell floats in midair like magic. And I'm going to bring this counterweight close to 0. 1/2 gram. And it is 0. We're going to come back up front. And is this stylus floating? And it is. I'm going to try to hold as steady as possible. See how it's floating there? I don't want to bring the cartridge close to the mat because I don't want to damage the stylus in any way, so I'm kind of doing it out here. Once you know that it's floating though, if you want to bring it close over here towards where the record would drop, you can do so. Just be very careful that your stylus does not meet the mat there. So this is floating pretty much level. You want to make sure it absolutely has full float. Nothing is binding it or holding it down. And then I'll go back here, and if you see the counterweight, it's sort of off. It's not quite at 0. So that black ring in the front moves separately than the silver weight in the back. So I'm going to lock the tone arm down because I know that that's where I want it. And I'm just going to move the black counterweight to 0, just to calibrate it. There. Now it's at 0. I'm going to unlatch it again, and this should still float. And it does. Awesome. So now that we're zeroed on the weight, I'm going to lock the tone arm down again. And now this Rega Carbon cartridge works best between 2 and 3 grams. There's 1, 1.5, 2. So we're going to split it right down the middle and go 2.5. That should give us the most chipper music for this particular cartridge. This is made by Audio-Technica. It is not very expensive. You can find it mostly under $80 pretty much anywhere. So if you're just getting into the hobby of vinyl records, this is not a bad buy. You could spend $500, $1,000, $2,000 on a cartridge. You don't need to do that to get great sound. Now we're going to go to the back of the tone arm, and there's the anti-skate adjustment. Now you have to look up the specifications for your cartridge. The Rega Carbon recommends between 2 and 3 for the anti-skate. Now, unlike the counterweight, we're not going to split the difference and go in the middle. Rega recommends going lower and setting it at 2. You don't want the needle or the tip of the stylus that's riding in the groove of your record to lean too far to the left or too far to the right. That's going to give you crappy sounding music, and it's not good for the vinyl, and it's not good for the stylus. You want that tip to ride directly in the center of that groove. Now normally people will say match your anti-skate number with your tracking force, which in this case is 2.5 on the back counterweight. I'm going to go with Rega's recommendation and do 2 on the anti-skate, even though it's 2.5 on the counterweight. But in a pinch, if you don't have access to any specs, you can equal those out. 2.5 on the weight, 2.5 on the anti-skate if you'd like, just to get it set up. Eventually you should get the correct specs and do it right. So the next adjustment is actually the way the cartridge or the stylus sits in the groove of the record. You see the 2 silver screws at the top of the head shell. You can loosen those up. You want to make sure it's sitting directly in line with this tone arm and that it tracks perfectly straight down this axis. If that's askew one way or another, that stylus is not adjusted properly and will kind of drag itself through the grooves of the music on your record. So if you look from the top, I've got those screws almost perfectly across from each other. So I actually have this adjusted correctly. I don't have a protractor, but a friend of mine actually refurbished this for me years ago. I have not touched it since. I probably should have him look at it again, but for now, you want to make sure, even if you eye it up and try to get it close, that's better than nothing. So try when you mount this cartridge in this head shell with these screws, make sure that it is as straight as possible, 90 degrees one way or another. So if you look at from the top, those screws should be level. They should not be crooked. One should not be back here and the other one over here. And one of the last things I like to do is actually clean the stylus. This is anti-static stylus cleaner. It's like an alcohol base. It's got a spray top to it, and it's got a tiny little brush. So I'm going to spray some of that on the tip of this brush, and we're going to clean the stylus. So I have my little anti-static brush filled with cleaning fluid. Now for this, you want to make sure you start at the back and come forward. Do not start from the front and push backwards. That will snap that stylus clean off of there. And that's a very expensive mistake you don't want to make. So we're going to start back here, raise it up towards the bottom of the cartridge, and just gently pull forward. Just do it over and over, drop down and over. This is quite satisfying. So you can take a look. Obviously, there is no blobs of dust on this stylus, so it is pretty clean. As you to clean this every once in a while, especially if you put a record through this and play it on both sides and you never clean the record. It will pick up all kinds of garbage. Get yourself a nice record cleaner. They make all kinds. I have one. You manually turn the record in the fluid bath, and then you put it on the drying rack. I've had this bottle of cleaner for about 2 years now. It actually came with my manual record cleaner, and I still have some in there. So get yourself a little bottle. I'll put some links in the description. If you'd like to purchase anything through the links, I do get a little kickback that helps support my channel. I highly recommend these things because I do use them and they work very, very well. This is what I use to clean my records. This is the vinyl style record cleaning system. It is a piano white. Looks much like anything Apple would release. This is a very nice system simply because it's very easy to use. Comes complete with the puck that holds your album. Also has the 45 adapter if you want to do the smaller records as well. It also comes with a 16-ounce bottle of vinyl style record washer fluid. This is alcohol free. Try not to use anything with alcohol, peroxides, or anything other than maybe plain distilled water or record washer fluid. You'll damage your records, not a good thing. If you take a look inside, you'll see a set of brushes right in the center and a well for the fluid. So we're going to pour the record cleaner in there. It'll fill about halfway right up to the top of the brushes, and then we will clean an album. Take a look and see how that works. So you can see right there, the fluid is right at the top of those brushes. Perfect. And you can reuse this fluid over and over and over. Just depends on how dirty your records are. After a while, if you look at the bottom, it'll have junk in there. And that tells you that it's doing its job. But if you'd like to reuse this, please reuse it over and over. If you run out, please just use distilled water. Don't add anything else to it. Let's clean some vinyl. 1979's release, Please Stand By 1994. If you are not familiar with this band, it is a tragedy. Karen Lawrence's husky vocals are phenomenal. Easy to load. This puck comes apart, just unspin. One side has a spindle. And the other side just caps. Screw it down till it's snug, till it looks like a UFO. And then we're going to drop it in the bath. Just spin. About 3 or 4 full revolutions should do it. You're going to go one way. Wow, I can hear the dirt falling into the water. Not really, but I'm sure there's particles coming off. I haven't had this out in probably a decade. And when you think it's thoroughly saturated and clean, rotate counterclockwise. There are a lot of record cleaners out there, ultrasonic, they get very expensive. There are brush cleaners like this, manual spin, use your hands. They have ones that actually will attach to the spindle of your turntable and walk itself all the way around your record while it vacuums the junk up. I've even seen one that has it looks like a paint roller, except it's a tacky roller, and you just roll it across the grooves of your record, and it pulls it out of the actual groove. All of those things are better than nothing. I like this because I know, in my mind, but the fluid is actually pulling stuff right out of the grooves. What I really like about this design is that on both sides of the pucks, there's a rubber seal. The label in the middle never gets wet, because once that gets wet, it never looks the same. So all the fluid stays on the outside of your label. The vinyl style record system also comes with a rack to dry your records, and also comes with a wide mouth funnel. So if you want to recover some of this fluid and put it back in the bottle, it's not going to spill all over the place. Highly recommend this. Had it a couple years. Works great. All vinyl, all sizes. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to Fix Everything Summer 26. Really hope this helped you set up your vinyl turntable. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comments below. Love questions, love comments. It's awesome. That's how we all learn. Really love this hobby. Hopefully you will enjoy it too. There's a lot of things you can buy to tweak a turntable. This gives you some of the basics. Hope you enjoyed that. There are some links down in the description if you decide to purchase anything on my channel. I do get a little kickback. It helps support my channel and keep things rolling, and I really appreciate all of you. Thanks so much. Just shy of 820 subscribers, and that's all thanks to you. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great summer.